in a family of elite combat athletes and top-tier performers. The final boss has always stood out, even when he was just a blue chipper. But there wouldn't be a final boss. There wouldn't even be a bloodline if it wasn't for The Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Maivia. You can think of him as the first boss. Predecessor to the tribal chief.
He is one of, if not the foundation for our family. The Anawa'i Fatu Maivia wrestling dynasty. I don't think there's anybody more responsible for what's going on now than the High Chief himself.
Peter Maivia isn't simply one of the two principals behind the sacred blood bond. He's also an incredibly decorated professional wrestler who traveled the world and won titles everywhere he went. New Zealand, Japan, Europe, and here in the United States, where he enjoyed especially successful runs in Hawaii and California. Maivia would eventually find his way to WWE, engaging in legendary battles with the likes of superstar Billy Graham. His larger-than-life personality would win the WWE Universe over in short order, as it had throughout his entire career. In the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia was a potent blend of brawn and grappling technique, often muscling his opponents down to the mat through a variety of joint locks and then switching to more painful holds once grounded. His sleeper hold and stump puller were both feared and renowned, and make no mistake about it, Maivia knew there was always more than one path to the ultimate victory. Out of the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia also ran one of the most successful wrestling promotions on the planet, Polynesian Pro Wrestling, based out of Hawaii, showing his mastery of the business in every aspect. His induction into WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2008 was supremely deserved, forever enshrining Peter Maivia as the legend he always was. And now, we present to you the opportunity to walk in the boots of the legendary High Chief Peter Maivia, facing off against one of the most legendary WWE rivals, George the Animal Steele. You will settle this score once and forever, and showcase the overwhelming strength of Peter Maivia, which has ever since remained as a hallmark for every single solitary member of this bloodline. Steele is no easy battle, though. He thrives in the chaos, one of pro wrestling's true madmen. He'll even try to eat part of the ring if he thinks it'll help him break you down. So do your best and honor High Chief Peter Maivia properly with a resounding victory.
Uh-oh, somebody called the local zoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a steel cage match. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 275 pounds, George the Animal Steele.
I'm not even sure the cage can contain this man.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Maivia.
Always a chaotic matchup.
His opponent from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 275 pounds,
Steele had better keep an eye on Maivia because Maivia is a true brawler. Few men can handle the chaos of the animal inside a steel cage, but I believe the High Chief is ready.
Maivia carrying such pride into the ring.
Very stark contrast to Steele. We'll see which prevails tonight.
High Chief Peter Maivia taking on George the Animal Steele in a steel cage match. Quite a heated history between these two guys.
Yeah, Michael, and I think it's because Maivia is one of the few superstars brave enough to take on the animal. Most of their contests have ended in countouts or disqualifications. Thanks to the cage, we'll get a decisive victory in this one.
Well, that really depends on if a cage can even contain them. Shoulder right to the knee. When a man like Peter Maivia signs up for a match with the animal, he doesn't know what to expect, just to expect anything in the world.
Peter Maivia knows full well that he's in for some unusual treatment tonight. In fact, Steele often has trouble finding opponents due to his erratic nature. When it comes to competition, the High Chief wants to prove he's soaring. Oh my goodness!
Peter Maivia is looking unstoppable now.
Yeah, and Maivia has really figured the animal out here. Oh man!
And stomping away in the corner.
Just ruthless.
The High Chief Peter Maivia really making a name for himself at WWE, but he's had plenty of experience on the way up.
Plenty of championships on the West Coast, but he's made the biggest splash in Hawaii, where he earned multiple tag team titles. Oh yeah, Maivia is a huge celebrity on the islands. In fact, I've heard some consider him the personification of Maui.
We've seen that Steele isn't above using a foreign object to gain the edge against Maivia.
Take it over! Going for the win here!
Wasting no time getting his shoulder up.
Staying in this one.
And retaliates with a counter. Boom, what impact. Momentum is all with Maivia now.
And you can see Steele is struggling to weather the storm of the High Chief.
Crippling attack on the knee. Some folks call Peter Maivia the Flying Hawaiian, and the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how has he earned the other nickname of the High Chief?
Well, Cole, Peter Maivia taking flight.
Crash landing. Ripping at the eyes.
That was just wrong. You should be a better person than that. Took him out at the knee. The tried and true method to taking anyone down. Big impact.
George beats him to the punch.
Uh-oh. Dropping the elbow right on the knee.
Peter Maivia very tough, but he also has movie star good looks. Quite the combo.
And it served him well, Michael. In fact, the High Chief has major acting and stunt work credits to his name. And who knows, maybe we'll see the Maivia name on Hollywood billboards again sometime. Well, before any of that happens, the High Chief needs to survive this war against the animal. Maivia just dominated the animal with that one. Maivia has Steele in his sights, looking to put the animal. George is tied up here.
Snap you in half.
Maivia can taste it now.
A jumping headbutt. George the Animal Steele might be a bit of... Nice takedown. Stack them up. Reverses the pin. Shoulders down.
Not sure what the plan is here.
He's not ready for this to end.
Oh, gosh.
Peter Maivia now with the upper hand.
A series of disabling maneuvers from Peter Maivia.
Continuing to work on the leg.
Oh, man, a callous attack to the knee.
chop block.
Peter Maivia even more determined than ever now. Shot to the chest.
Vertical suplex. George Animal Steele is not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination, guys. He's a true brawler.
And he might be the best brawler in WWE, Michael. There is no shortage of fight in the animal.
But you know who might be a better brawler, guys? The High Chief, Peter Maivia. When you consider that Maivia is also an excellent high flyer and a great technician, well, you can see why the High Chief is the favorite in this match, even with the steel cage stipulation. I don't think Steele's aware of the danger that's coming.
Going for it again. That'll do some serious damage.
And George is laid out.
He's trying to make his way up the cage.
Gradually getting closer and closer to the top.
One leg in the cage and one towards victory. He's getting even closer to making an escape.
Not a lot of room for error up here.
Carefully planning his escape. And the High Chief defeats the animal.
Here is your winner, High Chief Peter Maivia!
Anytime these two have faced off, it's been eye for an eye.
She's not like most girls. She's also not like most WWE superstars. Nia Jax, the reigning queen of the ring, is a reckoning, a force of nature that blitzes right through her competition. A cousin of The Rock, Nia Jax arrived in NXT almost 10 years ago with astronomical expectations. Undaunted, Nia Jax would dominate early opponents, finding herself competing for the NXT Women's Championship mere months after her debut. It did not take long for those running Raw and SmackDown to take notice.
Well, our next pick, Nia Jax!
And Nia Jax would join the Raw roster as part of the 2016 draft lottery. And since joining the main roster, absolutely no one has been safe from Nia Jax. She is a two-time women's champion. She is a two-time women's tag team champion. She competed in the men's Royal Rumble match in 2019, even getting an elimination while in the ring.
Nia Jax looking to eliminate, she does!
She's battled standouts like Charlotte, Bayley, and Becky Lynch. And all the while, she has left undeniable destruction in her wake. In the ring, she applies many of the same tactics that once benefited Yokozuna, even using her own version of the Banzai Drop, known as the Annihilator. And just like its namesake, if it connects, your night is over. And Nia Jax remains driven for even more success, jumping at any opportunity to prove her dominance. This last year, that included entering into the 2024 Queen of the Ring tournament after earning victories over Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair. Nia Jax would fight her way into the finals, taking on former NXT Women's Champion Lyra Valkyria. Valkyria built a lot of momentum, defeating Dakota Kai, Zoe Stark, and Io Sky to punch her ticket into the final at the Queen and King of the Ring. With an obvious game plan, Lyra would look to stick and move, avoiding the colossal attacks of her opponent. Unfortunately, as often happens when competing against Nia Jax, Lyra made one miscalculation, and that error in judgment provided Nia Jax with the opening she needed to annihilate her competition. This is your opportunity to crown the first queen in Bloodline history. Make Lyra suffer. Make her regret ever entering your ring. Showcase the otherworldly power that forces an entire roster to cower in your presence. Because when you're an irresistible force like Nia Jax, resistance is futile.
And now a dark horse will face an unforgiving titan in hopes to don the crown. Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax in the Queen of the Ring Finals.
The following is the final match in the Queen of the Ring Tournament. Introducing first, from San Diego, California, Nia Jax.
I cannot wait to witness what unfolds here. The irresistible force has been on a tear recently.
And Nia believes the crown already belongs to her. Will Jax's menacing presence and sheer power be too much for Valkyria to overcome? Or can Lyra write a happy ever after ending to her Cinderella story?
Lyra Valkyria fancies herself a Morgan, which is an Irish goddess of war. As they were on the battlefield, they used to take the shape of ravens to fly around and decide who would live and who would die. That is what Lyra Valkyria is bringing to the ring here tonight.
And her opponent, from Dublin, Ireland, Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria may have read a little too much fantasy in her day, and now is reality. Lyra Valkyria is about to go toe-to-toe with a real-life, fire-breathing dragon in the form of Nia Jax. Nia Jax, who's in the best physical condition of her career, tonight will make someone. Will it be Lyra? Will it be Nia? We'll find out in a matter of moments.
And guys, you win the crown. Guess what waits for you in August?
A date with the champion of your respective brand at SummerSlam.
And there will be a coronation take. And Nia now misses wildly. Lyra goes up over the top. Nia's got a caught, though.
Lyra trying to rely on her technique to bring down the irresistible force, but having no luck at the moment.
I'm not sure this is going to work either.
Jax just entirely too strong, but whoa!
That was interesting.
Nice athleticism by Valkyria. Even Jax might be a little impressed.
I wouldn't go that far, Saxton. Here comes Nia, just imposing her will on Lyra Valkyria.
Again, Lyra showing how resourceful she is, applying the sleeper to Nia Jax. Lyra tried to hold on.
And now Nia Jax in control, and she's going to look to put Lyra away. Nobody home! Set outside the ring, and Valkyria's got a chance.
Huge window of opportunity. Right now for Lyra Valkyria to strike. Lyra may actually pull this off. Lyra may become queen. Lyra has the advantage. She has Nia reeling.
But Lyra can't win Queen of the Ring with Jax on the outside. This match has to end in the ring.
Lyra says she feels alive every time she flies, and that's what Nia has to avoid tonight, keeping Lyra grounded.
The woman thinks she's a bird, Cole. What do you expect?
It's symbolism, Graves. Nia Jax, Lyra Valkyria facing off in the finals of the 2024 Queen of the Ring tournament. Who will take home the crown? Sent flying out of the ring here. Taking things to the outside, but got to make sure to heed the officials' count.
Wow, Nia Jax throws a hard punch.
Elbow drop with authority. Boom. Lyra Valkyria, one of the best technical wrestlers in NXT Women's Division history.
But the game is about so much more than technique. It's about experience and timing, knowing when to tap into certain parts of your psyche. Nia knows this, and we've seen it for years.
The big question is, does Lyra?
Placing her against the turnbuckle.
Oh, headbutt.
Nia is lighting up her opponent.
Yeah, Nia is just buzzing right through Lyra here.
Well, if you're Lyra Valkyria, what do you do to pull off a massive upset tonight?
Well, Lyra's a technical wizard, Cole. In fact, from a technique perspective, she may actually have Nia Jax outgunned. And beyond relying on her technique, if I'm Lyra, I'm going to try to frustrate Nia. I don't know how possible that is, but if you frustrate Nia, she may make a crucial mistake.
Treating the cranium like a basketball. Many in the WWE Universe getting their first look at Lyra Valkyria. She's only had 3 main roster matches so far, and they were all in this tournament.
Big wins over Dakota Kai, Zoe Stark, and Io Sky over the last 3 weeks. That's an extremely impressive start for Lyra.
Wow, undefeated for 3 weeks? When Nia Jax joined the main roster, she didn't lose a match for over 7 months, and Jax has stayed that dominant for years. Stuck in the tree of woe. And
they are doing whatever they please.
And Lyra only finds herself on the defensive.
And the irresistible force is really keeping Valkyria grounded here.
Turn Nia Jax around there. There's so many moves at Nia's disposal that she can end this match with. For Lyra, not nearly as much.
Yeah, I can't imagine it'll be easy for Valkyria to pick up Nia Jax and drop her with the Nightwing.
Please, let's call the move by its real name. It's a Samoan driver. You think Nia Jax doesn't have the Samoan driver scouted?
And at this point, Nia just punishing Lyra.
This is exactly the pace the irresistible force likes.
Oh, by the hair, whipped across the ring.
That ain't right. That just reverberated throughout the entire building. Talk about making a statement.
Good night.
Good grief.
And slides back into the ring.
Nia Jax is doing whatever she wants. Each Samoan drop driving all of the air out of Lyra Valkyria.
Does she think she's in a pose-off or something? This is a wrestling match. Effective counter.
Reversal after reversal. These two have counters for days. A complete stalemate of reversals here. Neither one giving an inch. These two reaching a standstill with all these reversals.
Into a sidewalk slam.
On the turnbuckle here.
Taking a moment to get pumped off of this crowd's incredible energy.
Nia Jax brushes that one off.
Valkyria crushed in the corner by Jax.
Squashing Lyra in the corner, and the beginning of the end may be near. And Nia now, with Lyra on her back, gonna climb up to the second rope.
This is a scary situation for Lyra. Oh, look at this. Maybe not.
No way. There's no way.
Oh, my.
Oh, no. Good night. Annihilator.
Here is your winner and the new Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax.
What a victory to the brand new Queen of the Ring.
Nia said she would do it, and she backed up her claims.
And now the Chief Content Officer of WWE, Triple H, going to come in to congratulate Nia Jax, officially crown her the Queen of the Ring.
Absolute dominance by the new queen.
I'm sure you will agree with your wise man. Many WWE superstars say they will do whatever it takes in order to achieve success. Quite often, it's a bunch of BS. But if you're lucky, you may run into someone who is willing to look out for the group. Someone willing to make sacrifices. And for this family, there was no one better than Rikishi. After the Head Shrinkers run in WWE came to an end, Rikishi, then known as Fatu, would go on a journey of self-discovery. This journey would lead to him taking on the name Rikishi, a subtle nod to his cousin Yokozuna, as well as an opportunity to start fresh with a global audience.
Well, my dad, you know, when he became the Rikishi character, when you think about Samoan wrestlers, right, or mean, or aggressive, he made it like his own flavor, right? You know, he had the blonde hair, still carried the aggressiveness, but I think he just wanted to add like a little flavor to it. But it became even more popular to our culture.
Rikishi blitzed WWE from the jump, devastating opponents with new tricks and winning people over with his fat-ass dance moves.
That Rikishi is fat, all right. P-H-A-T.
And with this wave of newfound momentum came even more success, with Rikishi capturing the WWE Intercontinental Championship and displaying incredible athleticism in iconic moments like when he dove off the top of the steel cage. The year 2000 belonged to Rikishi. But little did anyone know, Rikishi held a dark secret regarding a decision he'd made not for his own benefit, but for the benefit of the family. It was at the 1999 Survivor Series that Stone Cold Steve Austin was hit by a car in the arena parking lot, forcing him from the main event later that night for the WWE Championship. For nearly a year, all of WWE was consumed with figuring out who was driving that damn car and why Austin was targeted in the first place. The verdict came in. The car was driven by Rikishi. Rikishi would stand strong.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, I didn't do it for me. I did it for The Rock.
What?
Rikishi would lay out a years-long gripe that WWE preferred Steve Austin to The Rock, and so Rikishi had made sure that The Rock's only competition had been removed from the picture. Rikishi sacrificed his own popularity to reach this goal. The Rock thrived while Austin was on the shelf. For Rikishi, the struggle and fall was all worth it. Rikishi knew that he would eventually have to face off with the Texas Rattlesnake to answer for his sins. And he welcomed that meeting with open arms. What Rikishi was unprepared for was for WWE to stack the deck entirely, looking to make Rikishi pay for taking out their golden goose. Stone Cold Steve Austin was allowed to drive his truck directly to the ring and was generally given the freedom to do whatever the hell he wanted in the name of revenge. We are going to make things right. This time, when Rikishi and Stone Cold Steve Austin lock horns, there will be no stacking of the deck. Someone willing to give of himself so that his family, this family, can succeed, deserves better. So get in there and showcase the never say die spirit that has led this family to victory time and time and time and time and time and time again. Use whatever weapon you can get your hands on and prove to Stone Cold Steve Austin that you will do anything for the people.
Is it legal to not show up? Rikishi has brutalized Austin lately.
Austin will be here, Byron. I just refuse to think anything else.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a no-holds-barred match. Introducing first, from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 424 pounds, Rikishi!
We have learned more about Rikishi in the last couple of weeks than we knew about him his entire career here in WWE. He said he ran over Austin not for himself, but for The Rock.
Right, and now he's coming out here, and I guess if Austin doesn't show up, the general manager is going to have to come out here and declare this is a forfeit, and Rikishi's going to win it. Oh, this man makes me sick. Is he here?
Well, there's the Rattlesnakes music.
He's here. Austin's here.
Stone Cold Steve Austin came here with no fear, no hesitation, just revenge.
His opponent, from Victoria, Texas, weighing in at 252 pounds, Stone Cold Steve Austin!
Austin fought for his life to make it back here, to make Rikishi pay.
Now there is no way Rikishi can escape the Texas Rattlesnake.
It's been almost a year since Austin competed in the ring. Austin is a man possessed. Rikishi feels good about running over Austin and said he'd do it again. That man is sick.
Well, Rikishi made two mistakes. One, trying to end Austin's life. And two, not being man enough to finish the job.
Austin's going to absolutely tee off on Rikishi.
This one is going to get ugly in a hurry. It's a miracle Austin survived being run over by Rikishi. Now a pissed off Texas Rattlesnake is on the loose and out for revenge.
It took Austin almost a year to recover from the injuries he suffered in that heinous attack. You can't blame Austin for the damage he inflicts on Rikishi tonight.
Byron, a lesser man wouldn't have survived. Stone Cold promised that Rikishi's days of walking above ground are over. This is no holds barred. And Byron, I just cannot see any legitimate reason to run over Stone Cold like Rikishi did last Survivor Series.
I mean, Austin does ruffle the feathers of a lot of people, Michael, but I don't think any of his rivals would go to the disgusting lengths that Rikishi has gone to.
Things are heading ringside now.
No count out as he takes things out of the ring.
What a barrage of stomps.
You have to imagine the disdain it takes to repeatedly stop someone like that.
And this is our cue to get out of Dodge fast.
You don't have to tell me twice. Oh, strong impact. Action now right here in front of us.
Guys, we may need to move soon. Clearing off our desk. What could be the thought process here?
I don't think it's anything good.
I don't know if it's anything I can watch.
We talked so much about motives leading into this match. In my view, Rikishis are delusional. His family have been given equal opportunities, and they all took full advantage of them.
Yeah, my blood boils at the propaganda Rikishi's been selling. But I'll tell you about the most legitimate motive in this story, and that is payback for Stone Cold. Austin nearly had his life taken from him, and there was no greater reason to stomp the tar out of somebody than that.
Rikishi looking to finish the job from 10 months ago. Rikishi hoisting up his opponent.
Rikishi driver. It put Austin down. Unbelievable.
We talk a lot about Austin being prepared for a fight. Talk about the Rattlesnake preparing to make Rikishi a dead man. Well, right now it's Rikishi doing the brawling. Rikishi's disdain for Austin looks greater than even we anticipated. He wants this fight on the outside.
And looking at my monitor, it just makes me sick to my stomach watching Rikishi. This is a man who has no remorse and feels justified for running Austin down like a dog.
Look, to be devil's advocate, you've got to look at Rikishi's perspective. He's proud of his Samoan lineage and saw an opportunity to give his people a leg up in the Shark Tank that is WWE.
Oh, are you serious, Corey? Rikishi ran over another hit.
Firing with a straight shot there, answering back. Neither competitor is backing down.
Rikishi feeling the pride of his family with every ounce of damage he delivers to Stone Cold. Just teeing off with that fight forever vibe.
Exhaustion setting in, and neither one of them is letting up. Bam!
Both absolutely drained, but both... Oh, man, the shot's raining down, one after another.
That shot will give you the upper hand. Shovel right around the head.
Oh, bashing the grounded opponent with that shovel. Absolutely savage.
God, ugly but effective counter. Foot to the face.
And though The Rock wants nothing to do with this altercation, we have to mention the sadness Rikishi has brought to him.
Rock might be innocent in this whole ordeal, but I feel that somewhere inside his soul, The Rock is happy with what Rikishi's done. The Rock is proud to have Rikishi and his family.
No, Corey, what kind of lies are you trying to...
Austin and Rikishi trading heavy artillery on the outside, and here comes the Rattlesnake.
Stone Cold Steve Austin fired up and revenge on his mind.
You got to think about how bad Austin has wanted this ever since Survivor Series last year. Been dying to get his hands on Rikishi.
All of that venom, all of the vitriol inside of Austin being unleashed on Rikishi right now.
Remember, this is no holds barred. Anything goes.
Austin has Rikishi down. The Rattlesnake is red hot. And do you hear this capacity crowd? They want more from Stone Cold. Nobody wants to see Rikishi get beaten down like a pile of human filth.
He's got a kendo stick, a weapon we've seen used to great effect time and time again. There's been a lot of vitriol coming from fans towards Rikishi these past few weeks, and this Albany crowd is continuing that pattern of disdain.
You think Rikishi cares about the fans, though? No, not at all. He truly believes he's done something for his family, for his people. His family's respect is the only respect he's desperate for. And talk about giving a DDT with authority. Clothesline! And Austin fends him off. And he throws the opposition back into the ring. Absolutely no telling what's underneath the ring tonight.
That is an absolutely terrifying-looking shovel. Nothing golden about it.
And we know how despicable Rikishi has been, but to throw vinegar on the Rattlesnake's nest, Rikishi goes and destroys Austin's truck with a sledgehammer.
Well, hell hath no fury like a man who has his car tampered with. It's just extra motivation.
Rikishi driver!
Rikishi may have put the exclamation on this one.
Oh, and he gets discarded out of the ring. Heading to the outside now.
Oh, right into our announce table.
Saxton, you stay here and hold down the fort. Scary mindset for the Rattlesnake. Austin has scattered pictures of Rikishi all over his home. Said that every time he looks at Rikishi, he's looking at a dead man.
Yeah, Rikishi taking that as an empty threat, thinking that Austin isn't the man he claims to be. But trust me, when Stone Cold says he has you in his crosshairs, that's no empty threat.
Heads outside the ring.
And no countouts means he can take his time.
Boom!
And Rikishi slows Austin down with a thunderous right.
Austin's in trouble. And now steel chair. Oh, and Austin, he just averted disaster there.
And now Austin gonna deliver the punishment with the steel chair.
A relentless Texas rattlesnake beating the brakes off of Rikishi with a steel chair.
And again, thunderous blows by Austin. Down goes Rikishi. Austin beating the hell out of him.
I know Austin has good reason to be doing all this, but he could be taking it too far at this point.
I don't think the rattlesnake has taken it far enough, Corey. Austin wants to put Rikishi's life in danger, just like Rikishi did to him.
Every successive move is putting their opponent in a dicey situation.
Looks like he's coming back in.
Scooped up, here it comes.
Rikishi driver, busting out the heavy artillery once again.
Cover. Rikishi somehow defangs the rattlesnake. Damn it.
The winner of this bout, Rikishi!
This is not what many of us expected to see. We wanted to see retribution, but Rikishi was too much of a monster for Stone Cold tonight.
The vitriol that consumed Rikishi powered him to finish the job and leave a battered Austin in his rear-view mirror.